Hey everybody, today I'd like to talk with you a little bit about line-through swim baits. Now the reason I'd like to talk about these is they're such a versatile bait. They're something you can use year-round, they catch a lot of fish, and they're a great big fish bait. Now, to start off with, I'm going to talk about the kind of gear you want to use: rods, reels, hooks, line, and what kind of retrieves you want to use with these. Now, as far as rods go, you really want to fish something similar to what you would use for wake baits, just because they both use treble hooks. Now, most of the time that's going to be a 6-power, about a heavy action rod. Personally, I fish Dobbin's 866. I really like the way that casts and handles these baits. But for smaller baits, I'll oftentimes go to a 7'9", heavy action, moderate fast, basically a lunker punker rod. The real key here is that you have enough backbone to set the hook, but a soft enough tip to accommodate using treble so you don't just pull them out. As far as reels go, just about anything will work. For bigger baits, I use a Calcutta 400. That's what I use for most swim baiting. But 6-inch and under line throughs you can get away with, just a standard Corrado 200 or anything comparable. As far as line goes, for the smaller baits, I'll usually use 65-pound braid with a leader. For anything 6.5 inches and up, I'll use 80-pound braid with a 30-pound monofilament or fluorocarbon leader tied to that. And for hooks, I always use Owner 1X trebles. The reason being that they're a very strong hook for being a 1X hook, but the points are almost perpendicular to the shank of the hook. What that does for you is a lot of the fish that'll slap at them and not just eat them, which you'll get when you're fishing them fast near the surface. If you're throwing them post-spawn or during the summertime, you'll get a lot of that. The fish that just slash at the bait, you have a lot better chance of hooking than with turned-in points. So I just use those across the board. Now, as far as retrieves go, the straight retrieve, just a normal chuck and wind, is what you're going to use most of the time. One thing you can do with that to trigger strikes is just a good strong double twitch. You want to do that plenty hard, and what that'll do is make the bait cut and turn, and it oftentimes triggers a strike. And that's the same tactic that you'll use for clearing weeds off of your bait, and if you get your tail fouled in your hook, that's a quick way to clear it off and be able to fish out the rest of your cast. Now, if you notice you're getting a lot of bites like that on the twitch, which isn't uncommon, there is another retrieve you can use, and you can basically just fish these like big jerk baits. Use the exact same twitch and pause cadence that you would fishing a Lucky Craft pointer or anything similar to that. Is that big round tail at the back, what that'll do is basically make it act like a jerk bait. It'll dart and cut erratically when you twitch them. And that can be very effective sometimes. Really, the only time I'll employ that tactic is if I notice that I'm getting bit on the twitch. Anyway, so now that we have the basics out of the way, I'll get back with you tomorrow about summertime tactics and night fishing with line-through swim baits. See you then.